Okay, we're going to talk about breath support and breathing in choral music. Breathing is the most important thing we do. Most of us shallow breathe all of the time. Your lungs are supported by your diaphragm. So if you imagine it's just this little like shelf that goes up and down as you breathe. Your diaphragm is what helps you breathe all night while you're sleeping. If you didn't have a diaphragm, you probably wouldn't be breathing all night. So, what we call diaphragmatic breathing is training your diaphragm to slowly use all of the air in your lungs. Okay, so breathing, you need to make sure you're standing up straight, your shoulders are parallel to your feet, that your feet are at a normal stance. You want your rib cage to feel open. Like so many of us slouch, but when you sing, you've got to lift that rib cage away from your hips. Okay, you've got to give it room to breathe. Your rib cage is meant to move. Okay, it's not something you can feel, but it does slightly open when you really breathe. So, what we want to do is take a really deep breath. So you want to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. So we're going to take a really deep breath. Okay, and if you watch me, you can see that I'm filling up. Okay, so let's take that again. We're going to take a really deep breath. Okay, you can see that expand. Now I'm holding it and not really letting it out. So I'm going to exhale real quick. So if you want to practice your deep breathing and how to control that breath, I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to take a really deep breath and then we're going to release on a S or an S sound. So here it is. Okay, so you can take as much time or as little time as you want to release that S sound. Some people can get all the way to 24 beats. Some of us are at 4 because we haven't sung very much. So, your diaphragm is a muscle. Your lungs are used to training. So if your breath support isn't where it normally is, don't be discouraged. It's okay. We just haven't done it enough. So this is a really good way for you to practice your diaphragmatic breathing, is to take in a big deep breath through your nose, exhale through your mouth with the S sound. It's also a really good way to calm down if you're like feeling stressed or feeling anxious. Do like 5 really deep breaths with the S sound. You're going to feel better. I feel like my stress and I've only done it is relieved and I've only done it twice. Okay? So that's a way to diaphragmatic breathe. If you can't really isolate what your diaphragm is, when you laugh really hard, your diaphragm is what goes in and out. Okay, so the next time you laugh, you're going to feel that diaphragm move. Even if you fake laugh, it'll move. If you're like, you can feel it. Okay, that's your diaphragm, and that's what you want to use while you're singing. It's really important to support that sound, that you breathe as much as you can. And breathing is what puts life into those vowels that you're holding. You want it to feel like it's a motorboat on the water, that it's constantly going somewhere, and not something super stagnant like pond water that doesn't move. Or if you were in a boat with no oars, you would just be sitting there and waiting for the current to move you around. You want to be the person with the motor in there so that you can move to the next note and move to the next word with this excitement in there. And that's all with breath support and with diaphragmatic breathing and supporting your sound. Okay, please practice your diaphragmatic breathing. I think it'll make you feel better too. If you have questions about diaphragmatic breathing or supporting your sound, your section leaders and I are happy to help. So reach out anytime.